Tonight, the drinks, both hot and cold, may be coming to an end. Are we seeing the end of the brew station?
Then, some fashion shows are drag, but not this mixed gender madness. We'll have the story on this weekend's drag show.
I'm Theo Hendrickson, and tonight we're talking about how one special family brightens up Mother's Day with a special bouquet of flowers.
We'll have all that and more on tonight's episode of the Beaver News. Good evening and welcome to your Tuesday night edition of the Beaver News. I'm Willen.
And I'm Hayden Wilcox. We're glad you could join us this evening.
On the corner of Monroe and 23rd stands a building that many community members recognize. Well, next time, take a picture, because Brew Station is no more. The famous sit-down coffee and beer station that community members have come to love is closing down before the end of this school year. On Monday, owners of the Brew Station posted an unfortunate status update on the Brew Station's Facebook page at approximately 10 a.m. The statement? That the Brew Station will close forever on June 15, 2013, due to increase of rent and additional expenditures that the small business simply can't afford. In response to this announcement, fans of the station have flooded Facebook and social networking sites with posts and comments in support of the business in hopes that they will stay. Have something to say about the Brew Station closing? Tell us what you think on our Facebook page at facebook.com/beavernews.
Well, going off a story about beer, I guess it's appropriate to ask if you've got time to share a pint of blood, that is. The OSU annual blood drive kicked off yesterday in the MU Ballroom and will continue through Thursday, May 16th. You can join the giving from 11 to 3 every day this week. If you'd like to donate, you can sign up online at redcrossblood.org or at the blood drive front desk. Today, we sent Beaver News reporter Holly Clausen to the MU Ballroom for a look at this week's blood drive.
This week, the American Red Cross is at Oregon State University for their quarterly blood drive. According to their website, the Blood Drive Association at Oregon State hosts one of the largest blood drives in the Pacific Northwest.
Average blood drive is probably in the 30 to 50 unit goal range. So compared to here, this is 5 or 6 times worth what one of those blood drives is.
And the positive experiences keep students coming back each term.
Ever since freshman year, I've donated at all the different blood drives, fall, winter, and spring term.
Students and community members can donate blood this week through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the MU Ballroom. This is Holly Clausen with the Beaver News.
Want to see Iron Chef live? Well, now you don't have to wait until the Food Network comes to town. On Wednesday, you can head over to McNary Dining Hall from 5:30 to 8:30 for OSU's version of the hit TV classic. University Housing and Dining Services is teaming up with Human Services Resource Center to host this event as a fundraiser for OSU Emergency Food Pantry. Participating chefs from all around campus will compete for the title of Iron Chef McNary. Chefs will receive a box of ingredients commonly found in the OSU pantry and must create a tasty meal out of all the ingredients. Cost of attendance is free, but donations are suggested for sampling dishes.
If there's one thing Oregon is known for, it's salmon, so why not take advantage of it? This Wednesday, May 15th, marks the 15th annual Salmon Bake in part of the cultural celebration of salmon, the seasons, and ancestors. This Native American tradition started centuries ago with tribes throughout the nation. Since salmon was a vital food source for many Native tribes in the Pacific Northwest, OSU and the Native American Longhouse wants to uphold this tradition here on campus. You can stop by the Memorial Union Quad from 12 to 3 p.m. to grab a slice of culture. Native dancers and drumming will also be a part of this celebration.
And speaking of Native American celebrations, the official grand opening of the new Native American Longhouse at Oregon State University will be taking place this week. The new building, called Ina House, or the Beaver House in Chinook, will end the week with a cultural celebration which will take place on Friday, May 17th at 4 p.m. on Jefferson Way and 26th Street, right across from Weatherford Hall. The new Longhouse will include gathering hall, multi-purpose rooms, a kitchen, and a computer lab. The new Longhouse structure aims to respect multiple different tribal cultures represented here at OSU.
Once upon a time, in the early 1900s, dressing in drag was an illegal act. but the culture has come a long way since then. Friday night was an evening of brightly colored makeup and glamorous costumes as OSU celebrated its annual spring drag show in the MU.
This year's spring drag show was put on by the Rainbow Continuum as a finale to Pride Week, which went on all last week. We sent Beaver News reporter Molly Jones to get us the story.
Now I'm going to cue y'all into something. This is a drag show.
If you want to witness the true meaning of pride, talk to a drag queen or king. It was a night of glamour, sex, power, and fun, but it was also a safe place where people could express themselves freely.
Just the openness of the drag show, like it's a very open event. People are expressing themselves in various manners and just be open to the numerous forms that you will see on stage. For the drag community, words that you should know, fishy. So a fishy queen is a very, like they impersonate a female very, very well. Like they could almost go outside and you wouldn't notice that they were in drag. So that's a fishy queen. We also have campy queens, and those are the ones who are like very comedy oriented, like to make people laugh. For someone who decides to dress as their same gender and just kind of exaggerate that, that's known as like a bio, either king or queen. For me, drag is definitely empowering. I grew up with a lot of very powerful black women in my life, and so for me, like my representation of drag is like kind of paying homage to those women who like influenced me so much in my life.
There was a video set to Macklemore's song Same Love that compiled students' definitions of what pride means to them. Pride was evident in every performance. The audience reaction left no doubt that each was fabulous. The drag show was a fitting end to Pride Week, a night where people proudly expressed themselves and were accepted with love and respect. This is Molly Jones with Beaver News.
And Molly found an interesting side story that I never would have thought of, that finding heels for men is actually pretty difficult. One of the members of the drag show said that that was one of the hardest parts about putting together his outfit.
This last weekend, many OSU students from different organizations went down to California for the annual Shasta trip. Each year, students from Greek Life organize this unofficial, non-school sanctioned event to get people out in the sun and relaxing after midterms week. The annual Shasta trip has been a tradition since the past several decades and gives students a chance to let loose and socialize in the great weather. But what exactly is Shasta all about? Tonight, Beaver News reporter Olivia Gonzalez has a full report.
Place on earth.
Shasta. It's the biggest event of the year. But what exactly is it?
Here it's more like just a giant open party for everyone. It's a house party for everyone.
Once a year, OSU students, Greek Life, and alumni head down to Lake Shasta, California for a weekend filled with sunshine, swimming, and dancing.
I'd say Shasta is the best weekend of the year because it's the one weekend where everyone gets along. And not just in Greek Life, but like everyone.
And clear skies and sunny weather added to the overall experience.
We're enjoying the sun, which we don't get a lot in Corvallis.
And it's so cool to come to a place like this where it's like beautiful. You can see the scenery behind me. Like, it's an amazing place to be.
I could not compare this experience to any part of the real world. And we're just having a good time.
But with having a good time, there's always a risk on the water, especially when there's alcohol involved.
My primary responsibilities are to make sure people are boating safely and soberly. There's some minor issues with people not boating safely, and I deal with those accordingly.
But this decades-old tradition isn't going away anytime soon.
Shasta will never stop. We're just all having a great time.
This has been Olivia Gonzalez with the Beaver News.
This weekend was Mother's Day, a chance to give thanks to moms all across the world. And what better way to give thanks to mom with a wonderful bouquet of flowers?
Well, many people in Portland have the same idea, but those flowers have to come from somewhere. Tonight, Beaver News reporter Theo Hendrickson is here to talk about a blooming family business.
Thanks, Willen. This weekend, I went to enjoy Mother's Day at the Portland Saturday Market and found a blossoming family business. Have a look.
In the Portland area, a lot of florists are busy on Mother's Day, but one family in particular celebrates it in a different way.
It's local, it's a family business. We've been doing it for 10+ years now. Last year we just got 4 more acres with our other 10 acres.
These organically grown bouquets are freshly cut the day before, which doesn't make the Zhang's family job any easier.
We're busy every day, constantly working. We barely have time to rest or sit, and most of the time, by the end of the day, we sell out of all our flowers, and we usually bring like 50 to 60 buckets because we have 2 booths and we split them up. So we usually sell out.
While the Zhang family works hard, customers come to the market to enjoy the Portlandian lifestyle.
I go to the farmer's market all the time and take my son out. It's always a good atmosphere and there's a lot of good vendors out here, a lot of good flowers, and just overall it's a good community.
The Zhang family brought smiles to mothers all over Portland for their very special day. This has been Theo Hendrickson with the Beaver News.
So Theo, which one is the favorite?
Well, the favorite ones for this weekend were the tulips right here and the irises right here. But one of the better ones that were there were the lilies. However, they do have a fragrance that a lot of people are allergic to. So they have to go with, something different. But we can make custom bouquets to their liking and their needs, basically.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Theo. Now it's time to take a look at what's going on in music news this week in our Music News Beat.
Thanks, Hayden. Lauren is out tonight. I'm Matt Walton with your Music News Update. Next week, Student Media will be hosting an open house that will include a tour of the KBVR FM radio station. Staff will be hosting tours and giving away some brand new KBVR FM swag. KBVR FM would like to thank everyone who stopped by at last week's quad event. The next quad event KBVR FM will be hosting is coming up on May 24th. It's going to be a long one, starting at 11, going to 6 p.m. KBVR will be broadcasting live from the quad for the whole 7 hours. Today, I was able to talk with the band Little Brother, an acoustic duo from right here in Corvallis. Using nothing more than a ukulele and a variety of quirky percussion instruments, they play a mix of folk, hip-hop, spoken word, and indie acoustic that culminates in their self-proclaimed genre of folk hop. Well, KBVR has some big plans to end the year with a bang. June 13th, we will be hosting bands right here at the station for a live performance. Want to hear what we're up to? Students can listen in to the performance live on 88.7 FM or kbvr.com. This performance will also be featured on In the Pines for your viewing pleasure. And that's what's going on in music news. Back to you, Hayden and Will.
Thanks, Matt. Well, that's all the time we have for you tonight. I'm Hayden Wilcox.
And I'm Willen. We're glad you could join us this evening.
For more of your Beaver News, be sure to watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter @Beaver News. Have a good night.